Liver in very bad disease, very bad state very quickly. What we're talking about is what most people who have liver disease, although most of them are undiagnosed, go through. And it's this pathology. So remember we were talking about before with sugars and antibiotics and that kind of stuff. So this is what physicians will typically refer to as dysbiosis. And it's a fancy term for your bacteria is out of balance. So you end up giving yourself or feeding yourself a lot of sugar rather than, you know, the produce and meats and vegetables and that kind of stuff. Well, that changes because what's going to survive in your digestive tract is going to be what you feed it, clearly. So you end up feeding it a lot of sugar, you'll end up getting candida overgrowth, okay? You end up throwing antibiotics in there, what you end up doing is you strip your body of the natural bacteria that was given to you when you were born, and then you're on top of that feeding a lot of candida. So, and the other things that we're taking in, GMOs, for instance, I mean, I could go on and on about GMOs. They are extremely detrimental. And essentially, the summary of this is those types of things, this dysbiosis, this removal of beneficial bacteria, this increase of bad bacteria, it's an increase of pesticides, this increase of toxins, specifically in the GMO. When we're talking about that, we're talking about glyphosate and Bt toxin, and there's a host of other things. They literally puncture holes in your digestive tract. Okay, oh, Candida do it by secreting what they call aldehydes, which break down the connective tissue between epithelial cells and the small intestine. Glyphosate, for some, I mean, it's an ungodly chemical. It goes through and it just punches a hole in it. And the problem with that, obviously, is it's your major immune defense. So, you know, virus can get through. Bacteria that were not previously couldn't get through are getting through. And your immune system, of course, is running down there, trying to figure out what's going on, trying to catch it. And it gets quickly overwhelmed. And the problem is that now you have partially digested foods passing through that you end up getting stimulated, but your immune system gets stimulated and now it's allergic to it. That's typically how the allergies take place. And when you're in a chronically inflamed state, you know, hay fever and different grasses will now start to stimulate that immune response, whereas before it wasn't. Long and short of it, all of those things must get filtered by something, and it is primarily the responsibility of the liver. So, and again, liver is taking on a huge load in doing this. And if you're not feeding it properly and you're giving it constant allergenic foods, you're eating too many sweets, you're consuming GMOs rather than organic foods, you are a prime candidate. And the other thing is when you go out to restaurants, and I tell a lot of my customers this too, when you go out to restaurants, be very wary of the water that you drink. If they dump something in there to remove bacteria and you drink it, it's going to remove bacteria in you. It's just, that's the way it works.
Really?
Yeah, so chlorinated water you want to stay away from.
Wow, this is fascinating. These are things that